Hello, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm good, Nina. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm happy to be here today.
Yes, I am as well. I'm excited to see you and record today.
Yeah, I like our topic today. Our topic today came from just a lot of questions that we get asked on repeat by our clients. So we figured why not just answer them for everybody.
Correct. So for those of you who do not know, we have a company called Social Southern Creative, which is a marketing company. We primarily specialize in helping real estate agents grow and scale their businesses. We do take on some other type of clients, but our main, I guess, bread and butter, as you would say, would be real estate agents. So these are the questions that they are constantly asking us when it comes to spending their marketing dollars and where to best spend them. So we thought, let's go through when they should spend them in their career.
Yeah, kind of like a little timeline, if you will, of how we would kind of orchestrate it, or the different tiers or the different types of marketing that you can do.
And also this topic came out of like stepping on my own toes. So I think in any industry, when you're a business owner, doesn't matter what type of business, you can get shiny object syndrome. So you can be like, oh, I need to be doing this because I seen X doing this in their business.
Right.
And I need to do this because this person did it in theirs and they were successful. I am very, very, very guilty of shiny object syndrome. Finding the thing, someone can tell me that it worked for them, and then I'm researching it for 19 hours straight and then trying to figure out how to implement it, even if it doesn't make sense, because I have shiny object syndrome bad.
As her partner, I can completely attest to that. She does. I feel like I'm the one that she's the big dreamer, and I'm the one that has to be. I'm the boring one that's like, no, we can't do that. We got to focus. But that being said, if we like we said, this is just going to be like what we typically advise for people. But we're going to say that you should not have a website until you've been in the industry for 3 to 5 years. But if you left, web design to become a real estate agent, then maybe start out the gate with a really bomb website, because you can, everyone's going to be different, and it's going to be an individual approach to each person. This is just generally what we advise. If you want more tailored advice, slide in our DMs.
Yeah, absolutely. Call us up, hit us up. We will help you out if you need more tailored advice to your situation.
Yeah.
But this is our standard advice for the clients that we have been so fortunate to work with. So the first thing we're going to start out with is not actually a marketing thing that you can spend money on, but and we cannot go through each one of them if we don't mention this. The first thing you're going to start out with when it comes to determining where to spend your marketing dollars is a marketing strategy. People, to avoid getting the shiny object syndrome, the best thing you can do is have a strategy for your year or for the next 6 months or even the next 3 months if you don't think you can plan a year out.
Right, absolutely. It's kind of the same as like a workout plan. Like if you go to the gym, you may go to the gym 5 days a week and work out, but if you're not keeping track of what muscle groups you're working and having a set plan and goals, you're not going to see as much progress as you would if you did have a set plan that you had a log of that you could reference back to and look at either before it happens or after you've done it.
Right. And so the way to start a strategy is by defining your end goal. So like Nina was saying, if your end goal is to be able to, bench, I don't know what a big weight is, but bench 300 pounds. I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but let's just say it's to bench 300 pounds. And is that a lot?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It feels like a lot. It's a lot for me.
I mean, I'm barely getting the bar up there. So if your goal was to bench 300 pounds, that's your end goal, then you're going to develop a strategy that leads to get you there. And the reason that strategy is so important is because it would allow you not to deviate as much from the plan. So if someone invited you to come over and go do Pilates or a random workout class, it might be enticing to go do that thing, but it doesn't align with your strategy to get you to the end goal. It's not saying you can't ever have a little fun, but that is the importance of a strategy. The other thing before we start is you probably need to you do need to define a mission statement for yourself. That has been one of the biggest game changers for our business. We define the mission within our company, and we look at every decision we make as does that align with our mission? So our mission statement is to help real estate agents grow and scale their business through in-person education and partnerships, because we coach some clients one-on-one. And so every decision we make, we ask ourselves, does it lead to that mission statement? So those are the two things I would consider before I got started on deciding where to spend my marketing dollars, a strategy and a mission statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So let's dive into the first. Well, hold on. One more thing before we dive in. We're going to give you a lot of different ways to spend marketing dollars today. And I'm going to be very honest. They all can work and they all can flop. It is going to come down to your consistency, your strategy, and the execution on whatever it is you spend your dollars on repeat. So basically consistency. If you have a strategy and you're consistent, you are far, 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 far more likely to see the results you're looking for.
Right. Absolutely. And also with that, pick marketing avenues that feel authentic to you. If you're not the most outgoing person, then don't pick a marketing strategy that involves you having to go and talk to a bunch of strangers all the time, because that's going to be out of your comfort zone. So make sure you design your marketing strategy to be something that is best for not just your personality type, but also the area that you live in, who your target audience is. There's other factors, and we'll kind of discuss those when we're discussing what options to think, what you should consider before going down that avenue or choosing that option. But just look at more than just what you're willing to do or what's been working for other people when you're deciding what to choose for yourself is all I'm trying to get at with that.
Oh, show. So let's dive in, Nina. So the first thing we're asked all the time by real estate agents is, do I need a website? Here's our general answer to that.
My general answer would be only have one if it's going to be designed by Dakota Sites.
Oh, she gave a shameless plug to my brother. He will love that. I'll have to clip that out and he can use it.
Had to.
So our general advice on a website is actually this is something you should consider in 2 or 3 phases of your real estate career. First one, if you've been an agent 3 to 5 years. We just don't feel like it's a day one thing. But like Nina said, if you left a web design company, then get yourself one on day one. But this is not something we generally advise our clients.
Right. Because websites are great, but also like we can say on our behalf, they can be a bit of a headache too. So like it's not that anything wrong with having a website when you start out. It's just, is that going to be where your energy's best allocated?
Yeah.
You know?
Then the other reason we would suggest having a website is if you are considering leaving your brokerage. You need to start driving your leads to you. You need to start capturing the email addresses. You need to make sure that you have a way for people to find you once you leave the brokerage. If your office had done a lot of advertising for you, now they have to find you. Yes, they can find you on social media, but a website is a very good professional way for them to find you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So also the third person that should consider having a website is the person who's committed to email marketing.
Yeah, if you know you want to do email marketing, then a website kind of follows right along with that.
Correct, because you can have where you can capture the email addresses and then set up automations where they are sent an email. This is just something that a day one agent probably doesn't need to worry about right out the gate. So we always advise if you've been in real estate 3 to 5 years, let's talk about getting your website, especially because you've passed that 85% mark of people who typically quit. A website can be very expensive. So let's make sure that this is going to be the career for you before we create that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The next one. Do not come after me if you are in charge of selling banners at the local little league field or school, because I buy banners. So I need to make the disclaimer. We are not saying that, but just hear us out. But the next thing we're often asked is,
should we get a banner for the ball field at my kids' t-ball field? You know, should we get the banners?
And, okay. If you're a new agent, no. Oh gosh, I know it was really hard for me to say because I believe in supporting Little League. I do support Little League. Now, if your kid is a part of the team, then yes, my answer is different. But banners are for people who are working middle and bottom of sales funnels. This, to me, is something that is part of an advertising or marketing piece of a puzzle. This should not be your main thing. If you only have $250 to spend, I promise you, as a company that teaches real estate marketing, we can get your $250 to go further.
Yeah, it's going to feel a little bit random if it's just kind of some random thing that you decide to do,
It is going to appear very much so random. You just have a banner out there, but no context of any other place to market your company. Mm-hmm. So if someone did see the banner and go, oh, I want to buy a house from them, which most people are not going to buy from a banner. But if they did say that, how else are they going to find you? So I just think the $250 is better spent on other forms of marketing when you're a new agent. If you are a year 5 years and up in the business, my answer is different. Yes, get a banner. Finish your piece of the puzzle. Show goodwill to your community. They've supported you. You've made it 5 years. Absolutely get the banner.
Absolutely, yeah.
But 0 through 5, typically, unless your kid is on the team, is not to do the banner. But I promise we love organizations and we support them wholeheartedly. We just are trying to give the best bang for your buck advice.
Right. But if you got plenty of bucks to just be banging around, then go for it.
Yes, but it's typically not our advice. So next one, though, if this is what we would do instead. Yeah. If you had banner money and we told you not to, this is what we would just tell you to do instead.
Right. It would be to get a booth at an event. So newer agents, you can go and set up a booth at just the local, events around town. And that way you can build your network and show face. Because even if it's a smaller event and you only talk to a handful of people, you're a new agent. You really only need to the priority is getting that human connection. So as long as you can make 3 really good human connections and build your network, that's a win, I feel like.
Right. If because I will talk to agents, they're like, I did a booth, but there was only 70 people there. I'm like, 70 people? That's amazing at whatever the event was. Right. Like Nina said, you only need 3 to 5 great conversations to potentially turn that into a client or customer. And really, at most events that are mid to small size, the booth fee is far less than the banner fee.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Right. And so then if you build the connection at the booth, in a few years, when they see the banner, you've already going to build likability. And then now they're going to see the goodwill that you've poured into your community. So we are big fans of booths at any part of your career, but new agents, jump on these.
Absolutely.
Take you some sold listings, pick out your farming area, be familiar, and go with it. We love a booth. I just think they're great. Okay, so let's dive to the next one. We are often asked because this is somewhat what we do, which is hiring a content creator. Okay, so I would not advise hiring a content creator unless you've done one of 2 things. You've either tried it yourself and realized I don't like it, it's not my strength, or if you follow a ton of other real estate agents and you know specifically what you like.
Right. So if you can, when you hire the content creator, they're not just going to be able to just push out a bunch of stuff for you randomly without a little bit of direction from you. So if you've done a little trial and error yourself and you actually know what you need, then you know what to ask for. Or at least if you've looked and kind of, creeped on some other real estate accounts, you can be like, well, I like the vibe or the aesthetic or the general content. I like this account, but this account I find kind of cringy and overdone. Or you can give them more direction if you've done a little bit of research in that sense.
And this wasn't in our notes, but I just thought of this because we used to be solely a content creation company. You cannot just you can hire a content creator and never look back and never participate, but they're going to create a very generic brand for you. So just because you hire a content creator doesn't mean you're just never have to log on to Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok again. They still need content from you to give yourself a personal brand. So while you can hire one and they'll put together the graphics and they'll put together the title, they're still going to need that latest listing from you or that latest sold or maybe a video or some B-roll footage. So it's not truly a set it and forget it. So the 2 people we recommend hiring this, you've tried it yourself or you have a very distinct brand already and you know where you are going. Like Nina said, there will be a lot of confusion between you and the content creator if you can't articulate what you like and don't like.
Yeah, if you don't believe us, just search that hashtag on TikTok or something and you'll see a bunch of really funny videos of content creators complaining about their clients, all in good fun. I'm not, but they're funny. They definitely complain about not getting enough content or direction from their clients because what can they do,
And to me, ideally, someone that would hire a content creator would be like a part-time agent or someone maybe who's a mom and her husband works during the day. She doesn't have a lot of childcare. Mm-hmm. So he's going to lean into social media marketing. A content creator would be good. Also an introvert because you're going to lean into social media marketing versus in-person networking.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's who I think should hire a content creator. Okay, the next one is Facebook ads. This one's probably the easiest one to get caught up on shiny object syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Every single week I see in Facebook groups, I ran 3 Facebook ads and sold 5 houses, and which gave me $47,000 in commission. I don't know. I see them every single week. So we are asked about Facebook ads all the time, and they are great. They are wonderful. They do work. There's a few things you should need to know if you're thinking about hiring them. One, if you are not good at follow-up, if follow-up is not your thing, if you feel like, I'm bugging people if I follow up, I don't want to reach out to them because they'll find me annoying, then don't do Facebook ads. Facebook ads are something that definitely require a strong follow-up system. I do recommend them for people who have a specific niche. You're new to an area, or maybe you don't have a large sphere of influence. These are great for people that fall in that category. And then the last thing I will say about Facebook ads is you do need to recognize that financially it can take some time. It can take 3 to 6 months. Mm-hmm. This is not required either, but it is nice if you have some organic content out on social media that has done really well. So if it's done really well with your native audience, then it probably will do well in Facebook ads. But that's not a requirement. That just makes the Facebook ad person's life easier.
Absolutely.
And this is just from personal experience. Nina and I will never run our own Facebook ads. There is a whole science to that situation.
Yes, it's a very convoluted whole system in there. Like, there's a reason why there are people that specialize in Facebook ads and get hired to do just that. Like it's a lot.
I have a story where it worked though. So, and I'll tell it quickly. So I used to own a brick and mortar business, and every year we had a huge, outdoor sale. So we sold like a lot of like hunting, fishing, that type of stuff. And we always had it the last weekend of July. Well, every year we made a certain amount of money, roughly. Well, 2 years before we sold the store, I decided to try my hand at Facebook ads. I hired a company out of Michigan. I'll be happy to give anyone the information if they want to slide into our DMs. And I had them run very targeted Facebook ads on people who love to hunt and fish and be in the outdoor space and are outdoorsy, boat owners, all these things. We picked very specific targeted ads. And I literally doubled my sales that year on the year I ran Facebook ads. Wow. Now we tested and we ran for nearly 3 months, and it did cost me nearly $2,000, which was nothing in the grand scheme of things. But I just don't want people to think this is something I can boost an ad for $50 and get the results. But the payoff can be huge. I mean, the payoff was massive for us for running those ads. So highly recommend them. We will eventually one day have an in-house Facebook ad specialist, but right now that's something we hire out. I don't feel qualified.
Same, yeah.
Okay. The next one is YouTube. When should you be on YouTube?
Well,
I'm going to say day one, but if an agent wants to call me and they were like, hey, I just got my license, I want to work with you guys, I want to start out strong, we are going to have a discussion about YouTube, but I will be honest, most people think they want to do YouTube until it comes time to actually do on YouTube.
Yeah, because, I mean, as easy as you think it is to not have to type out everything or do everything, we will try and record videos just for like a reel or for our YouTube channel, and it's hard for us to schedule the time, get the camera angle, do the editing. It's a big process. We like it, and we
believe in it.
Yeah, we believe in it. And Stephanie's gotten pretty skilled at her video editing. She's getting a lot faster with it for sure. So there's definitely a long trial and error period for us, but we're big on it.
I fully believe in YouTube marketing. I would challenge you right now, when you are done listening to the podcast, don't exit out early. Mm-hmm. But when you're done, go to YouTube, type in your city, your county, or your town. I want you to type in all 3 variations. And I will about guarantee you, if you live in a mid-size or smaller town, that there is very few, probably none, or no agents on doing YouTube very well when it comes to real estate marketing.
So what should they type in the search bar? Let's say they live in Duval. What should they type in?
I would type in Duval County. I would just see everything that's showing up in Duval County.
Anything for Duval County? Okay.
Yep. Just start to see what other kind of companies are using YouTube. Mm-hmm. That way you know where collaborations can come in hand. Then I would type in Duval County real estate. I would do Jacksonville, Jacksonville real estate. So I would type in all the variations. And then if you live in an area of town, let's say Mandarin, Florida, real estate, Mandarin, Florida. I search it both ways, with real estate and without. And here's the other really cool thing about real estate. If you are a day one agent, you're like, I want to do YouTube. We're going to encourage it because you actually don't need a ton of real estate knowledge to do it. What you can talk about is your town. So if sorry, excuse me. I think all the rain's got my allergies moving. But if I was a mom or dad and I was going to be moving to Jacksonville, the first thing I'm going to Google is Jacksonville real estate. Well, YouTube now shows up in a Google search. So if you have those videos created talking about the coolest parks, the latest schools to get A ratings, see what I mean? Doesn't have anything to do with real estate. You're going to pop up and they're going to find you.
Absolutely.
So it's challenging for us to convince agents to do this on day one because they feel so overwhelmed by everything else, like understanding the MLS system, how to run CMAs, how to do a listing presentation. I get it. And then for us to come in and say, oh, do YouTube. They typically are like, yeah, no, we're good. Thanks, dog. We'll call someone else. So while I think it's an amazing thing for day one agents, I need to be realistic. Most people won't even think about this till about a year in. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
I agree, yeah. But with YouTube, I feel like the sooner you can commit to it, the better, just because we do believe in it. It is so, like, we feel like it gets
less than 10% of agents show up on YouTube. We did a whole podcast on YouTube. So we are like, go YouTube. We believe in it. It's a big thing. So the next one ties in, so we won't talk about it very long, but as video editor, I think there's a big misconception on hiring a video editor that it's expensive, but it's really can be pretty affordable for the bang for buck.
Absolutely. And you don't have to like hire on a full-time video editor. Like there's websites, I think we've used Fiverr before to just find it for like a single project, or you know, like you could have them do just a few things. You don't have to hire someone on full time. That's going to have to be a constant expense for you.
Yes. And video is so in demand right now. I was just sharing this with someone the other day. You know, Instagram says that they want to see more carousel posts. I think that's Instagram saying that. The consumer still seems to be resonating with video. So if social media marketing is part of your strategy, then get yourself a video editor. I promise I'm not patting myself on the back because I feel like I'm pretty humble with this. But if you can't hire a video editor, just download the version of CapCut, spend about 3 to 5 hours, not all at one time, just spread out over a couple weeks, and you can do some pretty decent video editing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. At least just like the basics, you know.
But this is
kind of get a handle on. And there's like, you can learn anything online, watch a few YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And YouTube videos because
yeah, absolutely. Okay, the next one we're always asked is, should I join my local chamber?
Yeah, and that one, I mean, we are a part of the chamber and we like going, but also if your chamber's not super, super active and like, so in that sense, if they don't have more than maybe like 2 or 3 events a month, maybe not. But we always say that join the chamber if it's within your budget. If you have the budget for it at first, it's great because then you get to meet all the other movers and shakers in your area and it's a great way to build up your network.
For sure. Like Nina said, if they host more than 2 to 3 events a month, you love social activities, and you can go during breakfast and lunch, because we will say minus like the nighttime mixers, we find that most of the events are during breakfast and lunch, which works great for our schedule. But if you're a part-time agent, you work somewhere else 9 to 3, don't spend the $500 to join. Spend it with a different organization that has more evening, nighttime things.
Absolutely.
So that's going to come down to go to your chamber website, look at the next 3 months events, see if there's enough for you to attend to make it worth it. And if there is, and you love to socialize, absolutely, then join your local chamber.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually went to a chamber event before we were members too, so you can even look for some events to go to. Usually the ticket price is a little bit more than for the members, but you could still even try out a couple chamber events and kind of see how you feel if you've never attended anything like that before, so you kind of know what you're getting into before you spend that much money on something.
Right. So like I said, big fans from day one. If that fits your personality, that's more of a personality kind of thing than anything. Okay, the next one is email marketing. And I feel the same way I do about YouTube. It is something I would love for agents to do on day one. It is so powerful. 42% return on investment. So for every dollar you spend in your email marketing, you receive typically about $42 back. So highest return on investment when it comes to marketing. We have a whole podcast on it, so I won't bore you, but here's the deal. It's just like YouTube. It can feel overwhelming. You can be like, no, I literally, I can't. So we are going to recommend, we would say, let's do email marketing after you've been in the business, probably 1 to 2 years. However, we recognize that you probably cannot add email marketing, but please, on day 1, start collecting email addresses with the intent of adding it to your marketing.
Right. Absolutely. And as my advice, as someone who, I helped Stephanie a lot with like a lot of the blog posts and stuff when I first got started on with this in this industry, when I wasn't as like well educated on all these different topics. And email marketing, if depending on what like you want the content of your emails to be, honestly, it's a good way for you to come back and almost have like a homework assignment for yourself to keep that knowledge fresh for yourself. So even if you feel like you might not have the time, making the time might be good for you more so than just getting more clients and getting new leads. It might be good just for your own personal growth as well.
For sure. And listen, with the surgence of ChatGPT, I just don't know why you wouldn't do email marketing. Mm-hmm. It can write the emails for you. Mm-hmm. And we talk about how to really help how to use ChatGPT in your business a lot. So you can follow us on Instagram for that. Mm-hmm. I won't bore you, but I think email marketing is perfect for an agent who can only work real estate part-time because they have another job. Or if you're very introverted, I think email marketing is a great option.
Yeah, if you don't want to build a huge like social media following, this is a good way to still have that connection with people over the internet without having to go to a million networking events. You can still have that human connection with people without having to have a really focus on all the algorithms of Instagram. Because that's another thing too. I don't want to go through the whole podcast on email marketing again, but it's your own land. You're not having to cater to like the Instagram algorithms and stuff like that. You can just send out what you want to send out and you know that your recipients will receive it. Whether they'll open the email or not, that's up to you, or up to the content. But
it's trackable. And so you can see how many people opened it. If you sent them somewhere else, say there's a link within your email, you can see how many people clicked the link. I love how specific and trackable it is. So you can develop more content to speak to them. You can also take that email marketing, and if it resonated in email, then go over and put it on social media as well, because you know it went well. If no one clicked, you're like, okay, well, let me not waste my time.
Yeah.
Email gives you so much data. So, all right, the next one is, should I host customer appreciation events? And we're going to say, once you have 30 clients, do this. However, we do have some caveats.
Yeah. So with that, once you've had at least like 30 clients, I would still plan for events that aren't going to need 30 full people or 30 people. You probably will get maybe 10% that'll come. So if you can pick an event that only needs like maybe 5 to 6 participants to still be fun. Like if you want to do like some sort of food tasting, or if you want to do a wine tasting, if that's your thing, that's still fun with 5 people or 25 people, depending on how many people RSVP. And then once you have a much larger client list, then you could do stuff like, I don't know, renting out a
movie theater and playing like a seasonal movie. So just the customer appreciation events, absolutely. We believe that but be realistic in the turnout that you will more than likely have. So you will be so disappointed if you plan this huge event or thinking all 30 are coming, because people are busy and some people are going to feel weird and some people are, just all the things. Anyway.
Yeah. So, and also don't be offended if not that many people come, because I feel like just the fact that they got invited, they'll appreciate it. I'd appreciate just the invitation. Just the fact that you thought of me and you tried to throw me a party, even if I don't want to go, even if I just am sitting on my couch that morning, I still appreciate that you tried.
Right, for sure. So just plan your events within a scale relative to the amount of clients you've had. Once you've had 120 clients, then you can plan a whole different event. I just don't want you to be disappointed by spending $3,000 on an event and having 5 people show up, which it can be very realistic. I would recommend some type of RSVP system or calling 2 days prior to the event so you really can gauge what you would need. And calling them yourself is awesome because it's a touch point,
Absolutely.
It's a great follow-up. So these are the most common things we are asked on, should we spend our marketing dollars here? And so this was just our advice that we give to our clients. Like Nina said in the beginning, every situation is different.
Definitely work to your strengths and things, and what feels authentic to you. So if you are just like, I am never going to be someone who wants to show a bunch of FaceTime, then maybe don't opt for a YouTube channel. Maybe go for the email marketing, but just pick like we said in the beginning, design a system, lay out your goals, make a system that aligns with you achieving those goals and then attack it systematically.
Correct. Nina, I love it. And listen, this podcast was made for myself a lot. Like I said, I have shiny object syndrome so bad. I love to do all the things. I also love to live in a stage of research, which is harmful. I will research. I will find out about a new thing or a new way or the latest trend, and I will research it for like 4 months and never actually implement it in my business. Don't do that. Once you decide something, get yourself some basic knowledge. And the best way to actually get knowledge is just by doing and failing a few times. Absolutely. I look at my early Instagram editing videos, y'all, it was a disaster. But I look at some of them, not all of them, but there's a few I've looked at lately and I've been very proud. And I wouldn't have gotten there without the disasters. So while everyone needs a little bit of base knowledge, don't live in fear and don't live in the research phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just go for it, friend. Go for it.
Yeah.
All right, Nina. Well, I think that about wraps it up. What day are we on? Thursday? Any big weekend plans?
I am. So right now I do have plans to go have breakfast with my friend, but depending on the weather, I might try and last minute get some Jags tickets. I don't know.
Oh, yes. The Jags are at home.
Yeah, I think I heard that our boy Gardner Minshew, that used to be our quarterback. I think I read somewhere that he is going to be starting for the Colts because usually it's somebody else. But
I know, and he's such a likable person, and I love the Jags. And so it's like, I feel bad. I feel bad that I want the Jags to crush him because he seems so likable.
Right. I want it to be a nice competitive game. Jags still win, but maybe the other team loses because of their defense, not their offense.
Correct. Love that.
So we can still have a win.
Well, if you've been here for a while, you know we use a lot of sports references on our Instagram. And so I have this sad thing that my brother sent me. I actually shared it on our Instagram today. I need to know if you're a listener and if this is true. So apparently, I've never heard of this. Like Drake, the rapper, the singer, apparently like when he roots for a team, they all of a sudden start doing bad. It's kind of like
jinxes them.
Yeah, he jinxes them. It's kind of like the Jessica Simpson and the Cowboys back in the day, that situation where people feel like she was like the curse of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that. I like old Jessica. But anyway, they say that's what Drake is. Well, if you know, you know, I'm a big Georgia fan, and Drake wore a Georgia like hoodie this weekend. And so now I am terrified.
She's stressed.
I know, I put it on Instagram, like, is the Drake curse real? So if you're a listener.
Stephanie takes her Georgia football extremely seriously. I've been in the car with her and we've driven past someone who had like a Florida license plate too close to Florida, Georgia. And she like rolled her window down and was like leaning out the window yelling at this person. Not mean. It was fun, like fun football yell. Yeah. But she didn't let them drive by. She's spirited.
Yes, very spirited. So anyway, I'm very nervous about this Drake curse and all the things. But yes, we have a busy weekend this weekend too. So, well, if you guys are listening today, don't forget to follow us on social media. We also, shameless plug, have a free Facebook group. It's 100 Days of Marketing in Your Business. And we just talk about all the ways that you can market or things you should be looking at to run your business like a business. It's free. It's called Real Estate Marketing Insights. Also, you can follow us on social media at Social Southern Creative. I think that's it.
All right.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.